Hello, welcome Solex Nation. You know, we've had something pretty fun that has been shipping out the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we should start to see some posts of this. If you've ordered something directly from the company that's been shipped out to you in the month of December, you're getting this first, this inaugural Solex snowflake. It's a holiday ornament. You'll see if you look up close, Solex symbol made into a snowflake. I particularly love this. I think this is so fun.
I love it too. I have one on my tree in my office.
Me too.
Wow.
Good. Hopefully you have one on yours too.
We want to talk about a few dates coming up. The first is abbreviated hours that we're going to be having.
Yes, so we absolutely love you guys, and we're with you every week. And the other group that we're with even more than you every week is the people here at Solex. We love the people who work here, and these employees have been working so hard for this last year that actually as a company, we are sending them home to be with their family and friends between Christmas and New Year's. And so you know, we will still be here to support, but more in an emergency fashion, right? If things are disastrous and not going well, we'll be here for you. But to take note, we'll have abbreviated service hours between the week of Christmas and New Year's.
Yes.
Mostly because we want our employees to recharge their batteries and they don't live to work.
They don't, and they don't take a lot of time off either. So we want them to have a restful week, as well as all of you have a restful week in between Christmas and New Year's. That's a good week to recharge and spend time with your families.
And then everybody will be ready to roll with all the New Year's resolutions come January, and we'll be ready to keep up with you as best we can.
That's right. Now, speaking of January, we have a special meeting that we're going to announce now. It is January 12th at 4 o'clock Mountain Time, and that is a meeting as a Zoom call for all of those who are gold or platinum ranked.
Yeah. So the gold and platinum call, this is the first one we've done with this particular group. We're going to gather you all together on a Zoom call. You're going to get an invitation from us as we get closer to the event, but just mark your calendars now. January 12th at 4 p.m.
Yes. Another date to put on your calendar is our virtual day of discovery. Now that is opening on March 9th. And remember, it will be open until the 15th. And what we mean by that is it is a pre-recorded virtual day of discovery. So you will be able to watch the videos as you can during that week. And you will also be able to re-watch the videos during that week. But that opens on March 9th. And tickets are available in the back office. Yeah,
but like last year's March event, you don't have to do it sequentially. You can, but because it's pre-recorded, the environment will be you can go watch the class or the section that you can watch during that period of your day during that week. And so that's available to you. Now's the time to get signed up, make sure you're committed to come to that event.
Do you want to hear a big announcement for tonight?
Yes.
Something that is tonight, guys. We've been waiting for this. It is the Leap of Homeopathy course with Alice Jerahian that opens tonight.
Yes, we loved working with Alice as she recorded this course. She is a brilliant mind. I know I've said that several times. A true rocket scientist, if you haven't heard. She really is a rocket scientist. And she has spent the better part of a decade or more than a decade on homeopathy and has fell in love with the AO scan technology and that part in particular. And so she is going to dive deep into how to connect the understanding of homeopathics with what's in the scanner. And so we know that there are many people have been waiting, knocking at the door for this.
We had over 200 comments on Facebook asking for her course.
Now, when is this course? Tell us.
It's tonight.
Tonight. So we're going to put you'll see a banner in your back office that will link to the course if that's where you want to go to access it. We'll also put a link on this call in our description for this call so you can link directly from here. I'm sure there'll be other means of distribution through social media where you can get to Alice's course. But congratulations, Alice. This is the one I'm sure many as she unfolds her brilliance with us over the next several months and years.
All right, we had some new ranks that we would like to announce. So this is for last month.
Yeah, for the month of November, let's show them. Let's show them those who broke rank.
All right.
Congratulations to everybody on that list. Now, that is not an easy thing to do. I don't care what rank you're going for, because that's not just achieving that your first time or the first month, that is having done it for 3 months. That's when you break the new
That's
rank.
right.
And so everybody on that list, congratulations. I'm sure you should be receiving congratulations from your sponsors and everybody else involved. We love seeing your hard work, and even the moments of recognition, here they are, but we'll continue to spotlight you going forward.
And speaking of recognition, let's talk about top enrollers.
Okay, top enrollers. Of course, we have a tie for
Yes.
second place.
This is December 5th through the 11th, and yes, we do have a tie for second place.
So in second place, Alan Stanley
Carrie Bilstein.
and Sheila Day. Congratulations. We know Sheila's been on the list like
Every
however many
week.
weeks in a row. She's amazing. But we only have one first place, and this
We
person's
do.
going to get the Solex Silver coin.
Yes,
Another one.
I want to say this is probably her 20th.
Yeah. it feels like it.
Congratulations to Jess Ceballos.
Congratulations, Jessica. Well done. Great hard work. We see all the time bringing new folks to your business and growing the awareness of the AO Skin technology and Solex. So
Yes, congratulations to all four of you. What a great week you had.
now we had a contest last week.
We did have a contest, and this was an open-ended contest. It was a little dangerous
Yeah,
to
it was
leave
kind
it
of
like
like
that.
say what you want on the call, you know?
Yeah, so we asked you just to leave a comment on the call, and there were some really great comments on there. And we are going to give away a pack of, you forgot,
Yeah, I almost
Power
did.
Patches.
They were the Power Patches.
I
6
saw
Power
the
Patches.
I saw the worry
Deer
in
in the
your eyes.
headlights.
Yeah. We're giving away Power Patches that we just got back into our back office, and this is a brand new design.
Yeah, Solex branded, 6
Yes.
of them. So 3 people,
Three
right?
people are going to
All right,
win.
hopefully you're nice to us. If not, I'll just stop talking and accidentally drop whoever the winner was. Quantum Nature. Okay, Quantum Nature, we need to know who you are. So email us in and let us know who you are. You said, I'm so excited about the dental scans. I have routinely been going to the dentist and they just found a terrible infection, which I had been fighting off for years. This could be huge for my health. We love that. Speaking of dental scans, we're talking about the expanded databases,
Yes.
right? That you get when you're in phase 3, when you take in phase 3, that opens up in a lot more detail.
Yes.
So Quantum Nature, good job. Let us know who you are. We'll send out the Power Patches.
Unless
to
your
you.
name is Quantum Nature in the back office.
Oh yeah, then we can find you.
This is Tracy Hill. I just love this company. Seriously, the kindest people behind the scenes and within the company. The support I've received has been tremendously helpful. And honestly, the bloopers at the end make it. Thank you.
They do. Unfortunately, they make it like every week.
You know, bloopers started as a joke against me, to me,
Yeah.
because I said something one time and you guys actually told our videographer to put it on.
We need that in the call.
And I said, absolutely not. And they said, oh, heck yes.
Yes,
and so
we're
that
doing it.
stayed. And you know what? The feedback has been just great. And you love our mess ups.
Yes,
So-
and I make the most. So I'm proud to own that title of creating the most bloopers, screwing up the most times. All right, last one for Power Patches. Here we go. Sylvia Alpizer. I'm in Costa Rica and I've been with the company since September 2020. I'm so excited to get phase 3. My patients are going to be so blessed. It is so wonderful to be able to see the matching organs to each tooth. I'm looking forward to getting more information. The patches are the best. I'm so happy to know that they are back. And Sylvia, you're going to get your own set of patches.
Yeah, that's great. Well, congratulations, all three of you. We will send out those patches tomorrow. And you know what? We have Deborah Bruce on our call this week. And she's covering a subject that has become kind of a hot topic.
Yeah.
Since we opened phase 2 and had part of the database released.
And what subject would that be?
It's food sensitivities.
Okay, good.
I do love this one.
She loves this
Yeah.
one. Okay, let's roll into Deb
right.
Bruce, one of our favorites, talking about food sensitivities.
Greetings. Well, here we are again. I just wanted to say thank you for all the questions that I've been able to look at and research. If anything, the biggest problem is figuring out which ones to answer first because there's a lot of really good ones. So thank you. Keep the questions coming. They're very, very valuable, and we will continue to address the different issues that we see. One of the most common questions that has been coming up, or common questions, plural, has to do with the new food sensitivity lists. And everybody is really excited about the fact that they have this new greatly expanded list in their mobile scanner. However, there have been different questions that have come up with it. Some of the questions were, why are the foods that are good for me coming up as something that I'm sensitive to? How come the foods that I eat all the time that don't seem to cause me any problems that I can see are coming up all the time in the sensitivity list? And how come foods I've never eaten at all are coming up in the food sensitivity list? So there's been questions about them. I've seen a few comments saying, oh, the scanner must just not be accurate and I'm just going to keep eating it and whatever. So it just really seemed like those questions were good to be addressed. So let's start out first with one of the possibilities, and that is that you could have a compromised gut. Okay, the gut has just got many layers to it. There's many things involved with it. There can be many things that actually are causing different foods to show up in the sensitivity list. And I think it's important to remember that on a call a couple of weeks ago, um, Lauren and Shelby were talking about different food things. And it was stressed that it's not saying that there's a food allergy, it's a food sensitivity. And one of the things to remember first off is that it's frequencies again. Okay. So the gut can have a lot of different things going on. There can be microscopic holes, which are starting to develop. And in that case, as the gut progressively gets these little holes in it, known as leaky gut, then you have more and more particles of food that are ending up where they don't belong, which will then set up an autoimmune response or a tagging, if you will, of these foods as being problematic. So it could be that somebody is starting to show sensitivities because they're right frequency wise at the beginning of having a compromise of the gut lining. They could have had years of having to start to have problems with the villi, starting to have the junctures loosen, starting to get it where there's just aggravation of the actual wall of the lining. And now it's showing up frequency wise that some of these foods are actually ending up in the bloodstream and where they don't belong. Secondly, why does a food show up one day and not the next day? And then show up the day after again and not the next day? If somebody's eating something like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it shows up on Tuesday, it shows up on Thursday, it doesn't show up on Monday, it doesn't show up on Wednesday. Well, here again, there could be specific reasons. There are many things that can compromise the gut from day to day that are of an external nature, other than just the food itself. For example, somebody could be having something going on with the gut because of having to take aspirin or ibuprofen the day before. The stress can have a phenomenal effect on the gut, where foods on Monday, where somebody was just having a normal day, the reaction in the body to the stressful situation the next day ends up tagging the food as being a sensitivity because it wasn't breaking down properly. It was eaten in a hurry. It wasn't chewed enough. There weren't enough enzymes. There wasn't enough acid. Could be any number of different reasons why it shows up. Another thing could be dehydration. If a person is dehydrated, that can affect the gut and the way that the foods are utilized and broken down as well. There could be exposure to mold or fungus. Produce can have mold and fungus on it. And so because the mold or fungus was present on the food is coming up as having a sensitivity to it in connection with the mold and fungus. There could be candida that is starting to multiply in the body. And if the person is eating foods that are contributing to the growth of that candida, then the brain can start to flag those as having a sensitivity, not so much that the food itself is a problem as the component of it, sugar-wise, that could be encouraging an overgrowth of candida in the body. There also could be exposure to toxins. And I found it interesting because Shelby was talking about having gone to Maine and she had lobster a few days in a row, and all of a sudden it showed up on her scanner. And I got to thinking about it, and there could be a lot of reasons why she came up for having an issue with lobster after those few days. And Lauren addressed it by saying, the sensitivity, having it a few days in a row. Well, it's not like Shelby's eating lobster normally 3 days a week, for the last months. This was a new thing. Now think what could be involved with having had lobster a few days in a row. And I'm just going to list a couple of things. Lobster typically is a rich food, okay? And you generally dip it in a lot of butter. So one thing that could have happened could have been that Shelby's system wasn't used to having something with that much fat in it. And so it could have caused an issue with the gallbladder. There could have been where there wasn't enough lipase to break down the fat in the body. And so she would have had the brain tag it as a sensitivity after a few days because frequency-wise, it was starting to cause a problem with the gallbladder, with the liver, just in general because of the fattiness and the richness of it. Another possibility is that lobsters are typically bottom feeders. And so even from one lobster to the next, there can be a different reaction frequency-wise with the body, because if one lobster was in an area where it was eating toxins that would cause a response in Shelby's body, and then the next day she had one that was cleaner, over a few days, the brain could get where it starts going, wow, we're seeing some frequencies for toxins in this food that she's eating, so we're going to register it as a sensitivity. So that's just a couple of the issues that there could be, for example, in Shelby's case, when she was eating lobster. Now, if she didn't have lobster for another year and she went back, maybe she could take a little bit more enzymes in order to break down the fat. Maybe the lobsters would come from an area that didn't have quite as much pollution as far as bottom feeders, and she might not show as having any sensitivity develop over 3 days at all. So there's another example of how there can be a lot of components that are involved with the foods that somebody's eating, why the brain would start registering frequencies for sensitivity. She's not allergic to lobster. She just had a sensitivity to 1, 2, 3, maybe more components of having eaten an unfamiliar food, not a daily food, a number of days in a row with a possible number of components. The other thing is that she could have eaten the lobster and had it with a baked potato with butter and sour cream. Typical in Maine, when I go to Portland and a friend of mine takes me out for lobster, it's baked potato, corn on the cob, lobster, butter, sour cream. Not something that you eat all the time either. So it even could have been an interreaction of different foods that made it where the brain picked out the main component being the lobster. A lot of possibilities. And the reason I'm giving this to you is because on a day-to-day basis, all of you are going to have a lot of different components like that can be energetically, frequency-wise, tying into why foods disappear and show up day-to-day in your mobile scanner. So another thing could be an exposure to E. coli. Could have E. coli that was on some food, and immediately the brain has a frequency reaction to the food that was eaten. And then another thing could be emotions. Remember Lauren speaking at Day of Discovery and other times about that there really is the feeling that there's a lot of emotion involved with food anymore. And if you think about it, that makes so much sense. Think about when somebody is upset. A lot of times there are comfort foods that go along with that being upset, like from childhood. Maybe somebody's grandmother used to always make fresh baked sugar cookies when they were upset. And so the person emotionally, when they're having an upsetting situation, goes for the comfort food, but the comfort food has things in it where the brain immediately starts to put up a stop sign because it realizes that the frequencies of what's in that food in reaction to the emotions isn't great for the person to be eating, at least not a lot of. Foods that have never been eaten. If you've never eaten a food and it's coming up in your scanner, what is the possibility there? It could be the closest frequency pattern to something that you ate that's in the database. Remember, even with the expanded list, it still does not have every food in it. There's the possibility of being eaten. So you may have a food coming up that you've never eaten because the brain looks at the frequency of it and the closest thing it can pick up is what shows up in your mobile scanner. The other possibility is that the brain could see that a frequency for a food that's very close to what you have eaten, if you eat it, it's going to be problematic. So it can be just giving you a heads up to foods that could be possibly become a problem if you ate them. So here again, because it's not diagnostic and it's dealing with frequencies, there's a lot of things that can show up in your scanner that are clues for you. Maybe you're needing more nutrients. If you're somebody that's just a meat and potatoes person, constantly eating the same foods over and over again, maybe you don't like vegetables, don't eat a lot of fruits, have a steady diet for years. I know coming from New England, that's all New England ever was meat, potatoes, and a little teeny bit of a vegetable as a side thing, but doesn't necessarily take care of all the nutrient needs of the body. So it could be that the brain is registering that there needs to be more of a variety in the diet. So it's complaining frequency-wise about what somebody's eating day after day after day in order to help them start to look at expanding their diet to have more minerals and more nutrients. So what's a person to do? Well, if you start off and recognize that for a lot of people, there are main offenders frequency-wise, even if they haven't gotten to the point where they're actually allergic to them yet, when they come up as an irritation or a sensitivity, a lot of times it's gluten, dairy, sugar, corn, and soy. Those are kind of 5 big bad boys that a lot of people will have sensitivity to, and that can lead to problems in the body if they keep consuming them. Another issue could be that maybe somebody needs to try to eat more organic. Maybe they're picking up too many pesticides off of the foods that they're eating. And so you can start to look in your mobile scanner and see if pesticides are starting to show up as an issue, where it may not just be the food itself, but what it's laden with as far as being toxic to the body. Another thing that could be is that you need to reduce stress on the body, or maybe the body needs more exercise, or to hydrate more, or to meditate more in order to get it where the emotions are better taken care of so that the body can digest better. When it digests better, you don't have things rotting and fermenting in the intestines, in the small intestine, where it would actually show up as being a toxin to the body, when it's not really the food that's the problem, it's the way that it's being handled by the body. So what can you use in your scanner? First of all, inner voice. Inner voice is always the first go-to part of your mobile scanner, because when you look at your inner voice, you're going to see suggestions on what should or shouldn't be eaten. You're going to see what emotions are causing problems in the body that could be relating directly to digestion and having it be where the body is not breaking down foods properly. Your body systems is another great tool with this, because in body systems, you're going to have different things mentioned as far as what's out of balance, what needs to be taken. If a lot of times it'll make notations on if there's dehydration, if there's more need for acid, if there's more need for enzymes, if there's a B vitamin deficiency. The different suggestions in body systems is really, really helpful as far as starting to track down why certain foods may be listed as sensitivity because of what's going on inside the body. Sometimes it's chiropractic that's needed. If you look at your reports and you see that chiropractic is needed in conjunction with the different vertebrae that are associated with the digestive organs, then a lot of times chiropractic can help as well. One of the first places that the vagus nerve affects is the stomach. So here again, chiropractic can be really valuable. In vitals, you have a lot of information in vitals on whether enzymes are needed, if there's frequencies indicating the possibility of elevated cortisol from stress, which would be affecting the digestion as well, which would then also interfere with how the foods were perceived by the brain due to whether they're breaking down, not breaking down, if there's enough nutrients, if there were pesticides, if there were toxins, all the things that we talked about previously. In comprehensive, you've got a lot of things listed. If you've got the reports from after phase 2, you've got a lot of things listed as far as molds and funguses like aspergillosis and different things that are associated with produce needing to be cleaned better. This can affect the digestion as well. And then looking in the reports and seeing what emotions are associated with what body parts. Because if it's an emotion that's associated with the stomach, or if it's an emotion that says that it's associated with the large intestine, or the duodenum, or the liver, anything that has to do with the gallbladder, work on the emotion, because what's happening is the brain's picking it out because that emotion is affecting that organ, and that organ affects the digestion. And then the foods start to show up as having a sensitivity issue, where if you back it up and support the organs and work on the emotions, then you will start to see results in your reports as far as the digestion. Chakras and meridians are always to be considered. They have a lot to do with the flow of energy in the body, and this can have a major impact on digestion and what foods start to show up as being sensitive or not sensitive. So here again, you're going to get a lot of information from your reports that are going to show, like I just mentioned, if there's the need for Solex Gold, for Prime, for Think, for the omegas, everything that supports the gut-brain connection, so that these things are breaking down properly, so that the emotions aren't having as big an impact on the body. And then use it in connection with your inner voice, everything that supports the emotions. You know, it really goes back to the problem that if you view sensitivities as diagnostic, you're going to have a problem. You have to view sensitivities as something that helps you use the knowledge and the understanding from your mobile scanner, and just view it for what it is. It's the ebbs and flows of frequency, the ebb and flow of frequency. Remember what Einstein said, you have the energy, you have the particles. And so this is what you're seeing with all of the things that are showing up with food sensitivities. You can from day to day see a major shift in the frequencies that show up for food sensitivities due to all the things that we've talked about. It is not saying you have an allergy to this or this. It's just showing you what you need to work on. And then it's what you do with what you work on that'll make it where some of those things start to disappear and not show up anymore as frequencies. So checking all these things and connecting all the dots between all the information that you have is really going to help you understand why the food sensitivities are showing up the way that they are. So I hope that this has helped you. I hope you understand a little bit better the shift from day to day with the different foods and why they appear, why they don't appear, ones you've eaten, ones you haven't eaten, and just dig into your scanner. And once again, you will be seeing progress in your reports because of paying attention to the ebb and the flow of the frequencies. So until next time, we love scanning. Enjoy your scanning.
Well, Kai, we just got finished listening to Deborah.
Yeah, Deb is amazing. We love having her on here. She just brings such
I don't know. I'm gonna have to throw out half of what I eat.
Yeah, well,
So, but Deborah does a great job, doesn't she?
and that is the caution with food sensitivities always, though. It's not like you're allergic. People often mistake allergy with food sensitivity, and we can't necessarily do that. It doesn't mean that there couldn't be.
It just means at that point in time, your body would rather not have that stress to digest
deal
it.
with.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
no, just look at your food sensitivity. In fact, we have people that actually do that scan before they sit down to a meal.
And decide
Then decide what they're going to eat off the
Really?
menu. So I think that makes good sense. I mean, that's what it's for, to teach us.
Yeah, I love that. Well, so this is a special call for 2022, ending of a call in particular. We're going to do another special call next week, but we won't be doing the ending. The week after that, between Christmas and New Year's, everybody's supposed to be home, including you. So we aren't going to do a call that week at all. So we won't be doing an ending until the new year.
Okay.
So with that, what's the giveaway?
Well, let's ring in the new year.
Ring in the new
Okay,
year. How
I
much
think,
easier could we be than ring in the new year, right?
It's better than me singing a song.
Well, no, it wouldn't
Better than
be.
me
He would
singing
do
a
a good job singing a song, and we'd all laugh. But since we're not going to do that, we'll ring in the new year. So comment on this call. What is the thing that you're going to do to ring in 2023? What is it that you're looking forward to, you're excited about? share with, those ideas will perforate through everybody, and we'll all get some good information from that. So what do we give away? Well, we have our negative
rings.
ion Cybin rings. So
Absolutely.
since we're doing 2 weeks, I think it might be Shelby might not like this.
Let's give away 6.
Let's give away 6.
I like it.
Let's give away 6 rings. Okay, to start it off right, we're going to give away 6 rings. Comment on the call, and we'll get your sizes and all that. Don't worry about that. We wish everybody a great holiday season, and we wish you well and are thinking of you and are so grateful for what you do every day for everybody. All the gratitude you've expressed in this last month for those around you and all the good that you contribute to your local communities, your families, and even society as a whole. We're loving being a part of what you do. So with that,
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
bye. Think we
Yeah,
make bloopers
bloopers
just about-
started as a joke with me. Like,
That's a blooper right there.
That
I
is a
think That's
blooper?
gonna make it into the blooper reel.
it's whatever. bloopers started. That was almost another blooper. I thought he was
Yeah,
going to
that
say
was
something.
gonna
I'm like,
screw
don't
it.
do it.
Together to support the whole brain gut connection.
We ready?
Yeah.
Nope.
Come on.
Are we ready?
You sang Sonny and Cher last year.
I did not.
Yeah, you did.
I did not.
You did.
I did not. And we're good.
You didn't sing the Cher part. Am I starting or are you going to
No,
start?
I'm going to
Okay.
start.
He's going to say it was a great call.
That sucked. Happy New Year.
No, that's good. They won't see it until next. They won't see it until.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That sucked.